Okay, here we go. Doing the voiceover for our kimura review. This is all the kimuras we did the last month or so of class and private lessons as well as group classes. So here's the basic kimura from close guard, where Tai swims through, gets my hands on the floor, and basically very basic fundamental setup. So the first way we're going to talk about defending that basic attack is that if I keep my hands on the inside, I never let his hands get to the inside of mine, then there's no way that he can get my hands on the outside and attack. So every time he would swim through, I would just hand fight and swim arms to the inside. But in the case that he gets my hands on the outside, now he's got the inside position, I'm going to use my head as the next level. So the hands are level 1, the head position's the second level defense here. And now that he's trying to get to my wrists, he cannot move my head out of the way. So there's no way he could lock up a kimura. So we're trying to go through that in several positions where we have sort of our level 1, level 2. So now level 3, I could go through here and grab his wrist, but let's say he gets a little further. So now he's beating my hands, he's beating my head, and he's got my arm here. So I'm going to reach inside my leg and post with the opposite leg and hand to drive all of my weight onto that trapped limb, the one that he's attacking. So now all of my weight starts to drive in that direction. And it basically will stack him up. It will put a lot of pressure on his wrists, and it's very difficult to hang on to the kimura, let alone finish it there. So that's our defense. So now we're moving on to demonstrating the same kimura from side control. So this is one of our favorite positions to finish. If you have the grip here, we're looking to finish, to get on side control, cover the head, and then rotate, pull the elbow, which would cause a break. It's very important. I'm emphasizing here that you cover the head before you try to actually get the finish or the break. And what happens is here, Tai is going to demonstrate if for some reason he makes a mistake, or maybe the guy on bottom is just very athletic, or if you don't cover the head, for example, like right here, he's doing it correctly, he covers the head, but if he doesn't cover the head and just starts to pull on that elbow and his weight's not distributed well, he starts to lean back a little too far, the weight's off, or you didn't cover the head, and the man on bottom is maybe flexible, maybe he's very strong, and naturally he's going to start to sit up with you. So, right, so as he tries to pull without covering the head, this is a mistake. The guy on the bottom can sit up, and then look, you have the reversal. So two things can happen here. One, if he can keep my hand behind the back or basically continue to threaten me, then I'm going to have to roll through, which puts him in the T kimura. So if you think about it though, right, you would much rather step over the head, obviously, than to have to fall through all that. So here we go, get into position. And now I'm making the same mistake. Tai starts to sit up. I just roll through, realizing that I made a mistake. I lost the position, keep his hand behind his back. And I'm going to continue to rotate him through, forcing the roll. Making sure he looks toward the feet to roll. Here we go. He rolls over. And now I'm in the T kimura. Adjust his shirt. And so it's really common here that your partners, your opponents will lock their hands because they feel that threat of the kimura still. So they don't want to get submitted. So possibly I could just rotate on top, go back to the finish. Obviously that time you'd remember to cover the head. If he tries to get on top, my bottom knee slides in, top heel hooks, curls, kicks the bottom leg, and then right away threaten the neck. So there's a couple options that can happen from the T kimura. If we made a mistake or our opponent got out of it, he's very flexible and athletic and rolled out. And so now I'm in the situation where he's defending, he's not trying to get on top, but he's sort of maybe holding his grip very tightly where he doesn't want to get the kimura. So I'm going to throw the leg over, locking behind his armpit, and then going to lock that side triangle up here. So what'll happen is if he grips the hands, there's always going to be a space either to thread the leg through or to go over the top. If for some reason you can't finish the triangle, then you can rotate back to the top position and finish the kimura now, because for him to escape the side triangle, he'll have to force the trapped arm, the one that's inside the triangle, he'll have to sort of force that elbow open to create pressure or uncross the ankles. And if the arm's forced open, then the hands can't be locked together, so then he's going to be vulnerable for kimura. So moving on to defense from the bottom of side control. Here we're looking at if Tai gets this lock, we want to escape a lot sooner than that. So just like from close guard, if we're defending, we're also defending here, we want to keep both arms on the inside. So you notice relative to his body, my arms are inside of his body. It's only when he separates my arms, now he's got one of my arms between his two arms. And so once that happens, now my arm's vulnerable. So second level would be posting here, thumb post, or a Heisman style escape where you post in the armpit or elbow and then roll to your side towards the trapped arm and extract it. If for any reason you're a little late or he has the lock already cinched up here, I bring my leg inside while blocking his leg from stepping over and start to rotate back to get out of that grip. Then I could go back to the thumb post, get my arm back in, and go back to the inside position where I'm not at risk any longer. So again, he splits my arms, I try to thumb post, something went wrong, he gets the lock, and I need to block him here with my left arm in this case to make sure he doesn't step over the head. I'm trying to bring my leg in, but maybe he's using his elbow to sort of keep that grip away so I can't get my hand inside my thigh. Sort of shrimp inward here, keep shrimping and working until your knee gets inside the arm in that case. Very similar, so either you get your leg inside the arm, or if the elbow's very tight, you can bring your arm outside and grab inside the thigh. So again, arms inside, there's no danger, and always going to make him work through. So he goes to grab it, thumb post, extract the arm, second level, and then third level when he gets it all the way locked up. Here he is. He gets it all the way locked up. I'm either bringing my knee inside or bringing my hand toward my thigh. And then again, going back to a safer position. When we drill these submissions, a lot of times we don't work on a full escape from the position. We just first, before we escape the position, let's make sure we're not going to get our arm broke or something similar. Okay, next position we're going to work on is the backside or dorsal kimura, where he's on his side and I'm attacking the top arm rather than I'm on the backside here rather than being across his body in the last position. So first one, I'm just going to get my kimura, cover the head is very important on offense here, drive in pressure, use my hips, rotate arm, and then rotate my body to pin the hips while making sure that we keep that head covered for the finish. And just like we've already seen, it's very important to keep the head covered when you're trying to break the arm or trying to get a finish. That way he doesn't sit up and you don't have to go into all those previous things. Now in this case, I'm trying to pull that arm free, but look, he's holding it very strongly, so I can't separate it, but there's just enough space I've made to throw my heel towards that armpit inside the elbow here. So now I start to separate the hands, and again, he's gonna really want to lock those hands together. That's what most people react with there. When that happens, I reach through, grab the tricep, boom, get the side triangle locked up again. Again, for any reason, if he starts to open that elbow and I can't finish the side triangle, he starts putting that elbow towards the floor. See, now it's harder to lock the triangle, but the arms are separated. So again, I can just rotate back to the top and get here to a strong finish. So that side triangle, Yoku Senkaku, is a very nice way to sort of give a double threat there, where you've got the option of the kimura and the triangle. So last case, the guy on bottom is doing a good job defending, and I fear that I can't cover the head. I'm going to keep pressure on the back of his elbow, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a chair sit and attack the back here. So immediately crossing over, threaten the neck, and then get my hooks in or body triangle, depending on what you prefer. So those are three of our good options there as we attack this dorsal kimura. Now on the flip side, we talked about defense. So if we're trapped in this position, how are we going to escape it? The grip that I like is really grabbing inside my biceps. If you had a gi on, you could reach in your collar here, but really grabbing your bicep with no gi is one of the best. You guys let me know whatever grips you like to use and experiment. I really like grabbing the bicep here. It makes it pretty tough to get that arm yanked out. It buys you a little time, and that's what we're looking for. The next critical thing is I don't want him to step over my head. If that ever happens, I've got to make sure that I, first of all, just bring your head forward and avoid that. And secondly, push it off really quick if you can, right? Don't be trapped there. Now I'm using my feet to bridge my hips, even a little bit. We'll put weight from the hips onto the upper body. And I'm trying to keep our angle sort of perpendicular, and then I'm walking my feet toward his feet. And as that happens, I can rotate through the grip. So I can rotate out of the kimura grip. If he stays there, there's possible counterattacks. It's always nice to throw something up and have your opponent reacting to the threat. Again, it's all just who knows what. If he pulls the arm out of that counterattack, there's always the same side triangle and kimura possibilities from the bottom here, right? So counterattacks it's not really the main focus, but it's really valuable to get your opponent hopefully on a defensive reaction. That way you're not just sitting down there defending forever, because eventually you'll get tired of defending and then they'll still be on top. So here I am putting weight, rotating, rocking, driving the elbow towards the floor. Sometimes when you're at the right angle, you're safe to let go of that bicep, and you can even push. If sometimes you have an opponent who's very strong and you're getting the angle, but they're still hanging on stubbornly, and they're just very strong, you could use that second grip there, that C grip. So again, I'm transferring weight to the upper body, rotating through, thinking about a possible counterattack here. Tai gets the kimura, grabbing the bicep. Now, another thing that can happen is he can drive and sprawl and drive all of his weight. So now there's two things. One is I can't rotate in the way we just did. Or I could, but it takes a lot of effort and I might be too tired, or maybe he's just very, heavy, good pressure. So what I'll do here is I can actually let go of my bicep and look at using my other hand to strip the hand at the thumb line. Because what that happens when he sprawls in here, there's not as much danger of him yanking the arm out because his weight's all on my elbow, so he can't really pull the arm out. So if the guy sprawls, you can just release your defensive grip and then peel the hand off. All right, now he's got me in this T kimura, so where we've worked on, that's me yelling at my kids. That's why I had to do the voiceover, because my kids ran over when I was filming. I said, kids, go away. And they're yelling a bunch of stuff. So working this T kimura here. Tai's got me locked, and right away I know my arm, I have bad old shoulders, so my arms are tingling already here, so I've got to find a way out of here. I don't want to let him improve the position. And I've got to be mindful of his legs coming over the top and doing all that stuff, putting him in that Yoko Senkaku. So I've got to watch, of course, also everything else. So here I am posting on the elbow, rotating my head towards the feet. And look, again, another counterattack. You can throw your leg over. You might have a possibility here to counterattack with your side triangle going into the same stuff. So if you hadn't seen that side triangle, that's a good combination here. So again, I'm in the T kimura, posting the elbow, and rotating. The grip's still there. It's not quite enough to get free, but look, there's the advantage. He's being stubborn. He doesn't want to let go. So what do? I'm going to throw my leg over. Sometimes you can thread it through, and sometimes you throw it over here. I have pretty long legs, so for me it's usually easier to throw over the top than it is to try to thread through a shorter person's arms. If you have shorter legs, then the opposite might be true for you. Okay, so there's a few of the kimuras we worked. Here's some other classroom footage, just reviewing that same technique, just a different angle. I think some of the students recorded this, so you can get a look. So Jake's got me here in a T kimura, so I'm telling them, look, watch out for the guy stepping over, watch out for all the guy can also try to get on top here, so you don't want to, you're trying not to give up anything, but of course sometimes you have to sacrifice something, and probably you'll sacrifice, at the least you'll sacrifice a top position here if you have to.
So I know all this is kind of like
So here he is. He's got the lock. I'm going to start posting on that elbow and moving my head towards the legs, doing the same counterattack we just saw in the last clip. Throw the leg over, boom, here. In this case, I got lucky. His arm strap looks pretty uncomfortable. I don't think I realized it there. I had to loosen up a little bit. Hey, get your arm out of there. There he goes. And most guys, like I said, will grab their hands together here. Just when you tug on that arm, and they feel the kimura getting locked up, and you tug on it a little, it's like a fake a little bit, because it's not in immediate danger of being broken, but it's hard to not react to a strong guy locking up a kimura grip on your arm. But when you do this from the side triangle situation, then it really sets up the future attack, right? If the guy reacts by grabbing his hands, then he's kind of locking himself into the side triangle. So here I throw the leg over. Again, as I tug on that grip, as soon as I get it, I give that kimura grip here a little tug. He locks the hand so I can reach through, grab the back of his triceps, turn my belly slightly towards the ground, and then lock up the side triangle. Here's a way that I like to separate the hands from the same dorsal kimura we saw earlier.
One time, right? Two times.
Again, maybe I'm having trouble separating the hands, and so what do? I throw my heel into the armpit area. I was a little sore right there, I think, so I sat instead of falling sideways. But now I'm in the same situation. I'll tug on that kimura, make him feel the threat of the arm separating, which is a real threat, because here as I pop, he has that reaction. It's very common. People do not like the idea of getting kimura'd. So when he grabs through to defend it, it's perfect, because now I can reach through, grabbing the back of his triceps. Once I have the back of the triceps, I can uncross the ankles or legs, and then I can open and stretch my legs, and I rotate slightly belly down. This helps get a really good connection to get a nice tight strangle here, choke, whatever you want to call it. And then I can squeeze the knees, curl the heels in, get a tight lock. If for any reason that doesn't work, we can always work back to the top position. Either keeping the triangle or just open up the legs with the arms separate, which makes it a lot easier to finish, because now the arms can't be locked together to defend this lock. Keep the head pushed down, pull the elbow, and rotate the arm for a strong finish. Here's a couple little bonus moves we did in one of the night classes. I think this was after class. My students here, Colin, that's a good young man here. He's helped me demonstrate a few more kimuras. So look, he's in the top of side control, and sometimes when you have a hand fighting advantage, a skill advantage, once in a while you're just having some fun in class, and you can get that kimura from the bottom of side control. Use it to force him to roll. Notice how I gave plenty of space there so I don't put him in a neck crank on accident. When you come up on top there's a little bit of a crucifix possibility with the head being rolled towards the chest. So watch how I very carefully raise. I'm demonstrating here, like if you see, there's the neck crank, right, where his head could get trapped between with my ribs. So I'm raising up on purpose to make sure that I don't inadvertently put my partner in a neck crank. Right, it's one thing if you guys are working those and you're sparring, you know it, but it's a different thing if you don't know it and you do it on accident. You can move your body pretty fast and strain your partner's neck here. So make sure you raise up nice and high there to avoid the accidental neck crank. So here he's trying to do it to me, so I bring him up, rotate around, and look, hitting the armbar off his kimura. George St. Pierre hit that classic against or rather, Matt Hughes hit that against George St. Pierre, their first fight, where George went for the kimura from bottom of half guard, and Matt Hughes rotated over, finishing with that armbar. So we're kind of showing, tit for tat here. The guy on bottom goes for the kimura, the guy on top starts rotating around and hit that armbar. But look, on bottom you can push against the hip and rotate him over. Back to our position we've worked so much on both ends, the T kimura here. So again, now we've got all those options. He can try to get on top of me. I'll bring my knee underneath, throw the other heel over, curl back, kick the one, and then I can right away threaten his neck for a back take. Of course, we have the other options, like the side triangle there. We also have options just to roll on top and get a classic position. So I reach through, look, Once I threaten that, with the hand pops behind the back, he has to roll. But look, he's doing a good job. He's hiding it in his hip. He's stepping on the head. He's thinking about armbarring me. So what do? I rotate underneath, pushing his hip, push, push, push. He doesn't have that hand for a post. So again, I can rotate on top here. Or if he's too quick, he rotates on top of me. I can chase his back, throwing my legs in. There's several more options here, of course. There's triangles, arm bars. There's more positions. Just giving you guys something to watch. Finally got this done. Thanks.